Mike Bowers. I'm Director of Photography for the Global Mail. I'm talking pictures this morning with the one and only Warren Brown, cartoonist for the Daily Telegraph, mate. Welcome.
Thank you, Mike. What a delight to be here, as always.
It's been Queensland who's birthed a new government, but it seems to be Canberra having extreme Labor pains.
But what a thing. That was an extraordinary situation.
yeah.
I mean, it was just gobsmacking. I mean, and a cartoon here with Parliament House, of course, and Queensland having it just smashed through the top of it. I love that. Big blue Queensland.
And you've picked up on it too.
The fright on the hill.
The fright on the hill.
There you go. And look, here's Bill Leake.
A light on the hill.
A light on the hill. Now moving forward.
Now moving forward.
Isn't that lovely? This is inferno.
Burning up to the border.
Yeah. Tremendous.
And Nico has got, it's only a flesh wound with the states of Northern Territory, South Australia and Tasmania.
And here's Tony Abbott, the knight on the hill.
The knight on the hill,
Yeah.
the knight who says no. We are the knights who say no. Oh dear, I'm dropping into Monty Python.
But isn't that great that the great Monty Python skit can, 35 years later, it can resurface? It's tremendous.
Well, how old's the light on the hill? It's 130 or something,
I think
isn't
it
it?
would have gone out by now. Just about has. The end of its wick.
Containing the fallout, David Pope, who's just draftsmanship gets better and better. I love the way he draws his stuff. They're little snapshots of a filmic scene
Yes,
almost,
they are beautifully laid out.
We just need to better explain how splitting the party's core values is potentially a limitless source of renewable trust.
Isn't a great meltdown here? Queensland busted apart, people running around with their hands in the air with buckets of water.
Beautiful.
Too late.
Yeah. Apparently, what she needs to do now is to get out to Queensland and work hard up there. I'm not so sure that's probably the move.
No, South Korea was a much safer place, I think, than Queensland, that's for sure. North Korea is probably a safer place than...
The demilitarised zone.
Absolutely, yeah. And here we have Julia Gillard surrounded by a whole lot of cheering people who are going, Who is this woman? And a lovely Mark Knight's got her hiding under the bed here with the room service, I think, coming in. What's your worry, Prime Minister? You said the North Koreans didn't have a bomb that could hit Australia. And then she's saying, it's that other lot to our north that worries me. And his Clive Palmer is a big boy, atomic bomb.
It'd have to be a pretty sort of fit Enola Gay to lift him.
Would be. A 30-engined Enola Gay.
Warren, the only thing that went lower than the opinion polls for our leaders was James Cameron, who dove into some 10-kilometre trench out in the Pacific somewhere.
Indeed, of Titanic proportions. Yeah. I love this. This submarine here, Australian-built, by the way.
Yeah,
that's right. Julia Gillard is this puffer fish, first solo dive to the depths of the opinion polls, and Tony Abbott is this anglerfish, I think they are, with a little light at the front. Yeah. It works so well, As I sit here at the very margins of statistical error, there is a palpable sense of complete and utter desolation. Isn't that lovely?
It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. And his little light is a little electric light bulb. Little sort of a nod to the cost of electricity as well in there, David.
Indeed. But don't you love his black eye? And it's just this horrible, ghastly, horrendous thing, that bottom-feeding thing, whatever it is. Look.
Oh, and isn't this just delightful?
Yeah, it sure is.
Polypedal 2012, which Tony takes part in every year.
Well, of course, and it just happened to be this week. And while Queensland's on fire, here's Tony with his helmet on and his lycra, just doing what he always does. But it's a really lovely cartoon. I love his shaved chest
with the two little nipples coming through, one through the N and one through the O. Dear, that's just not for morning
And mercifully,
TV.
He's wearing his budgie smugglers because you just don't know what sort of a close shave he's had there, do you?
Warren, it's always a great pleasure having you on. Thanks very much for taking the time. And would you like to do the honours?
Absolutely.
Not quite the honours I meant.
Back to you, Barry.